March 28th. Got a couple newborn calves out here. The first calf heifer right there. It's always a good sight to see when a first calf heifer calves out in the mob with no issues. Greg Judy baling roller. Thing's pretty handy. Unroll your hay where you want it. Spread out your seed, spread out your cows, spread out your fertilizer. There's around 170, 180 head in here. It's 2 4x5 bales, and they're all getting something to eat. Not getting pushed around and stepped on and plus, we're making better grass for the years to come. What's funny about it is that bale of hay, those bales of hay came from the field just north of us. Off a neighbor farm, hay field. So we're taking nutrients off that field. They are. And I'm buying it and putting it in the field right next to it. You grazers know what I'm talking about. Taking nutrients off one field and moving to another one. But hey, if they want to sell their fertilizer and nutrients, I'll take it. I'll put it on my fields. Because these couple fields need it. These were old hay fields, mostly orchard grass. And it was, for pasture ground, it was pretty rough shape when I got here. And a lot of bare ground. Probably needed reseeded and a bunch of fertilizer on it. But we let it go to seed naturally. Trying to be cost efficient, I guess you'd say. Just let it go to seed naturally and let the cows graze it. But I don't know, looking back, I kind of wish we would have started unrolling hay the first couple winters, because there's not a lot of, I mean, there is some diversity out here, but I'd rather see a lot more fescue out here. And it didn't really come back naturally like I thought it would. Wish we would have unrolled some bales to get that seed out here quicker. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not the best either. There's still bare ground and thistles and weeds, and which cows will eat with stock density, high stock density, but there's just too much orchard grass out here. And if you want to graze in the wintertime, it's not the best stuff to be grazing. You got to have fescue out here. Plus, it holds the ground better, holds the cows up. This orchard grass just does not handle cattle pressure, especially when it gets wet. But it's never too late to start something. Start it back up. Trying to buy some time, get some more warmer days, get them other pastures built up more. That way they're ready to graze. They're not quite ready. Need a few more weeks and some warm weather. So what better way than to unroll some bales on a field that needs it? Get some more grass seed out here, get some more cow pats, get some feeding days off of it. Whatever they don't eat goes back in the ground, builds topsoil, organic matter. Make for some better grass in the future. Gotta get that ground covered. When you got bare spots, first thing that grows up is usually weeds. And get it covered with some grass. Cow pats don't look too bad. That's what you want to see. Got a few spring calvers in here, along with fall calvers. So we'll be getting some more baby calves here in the next couple weeks. Out here. But yep, making some windrows. Us grazers are pretty much doing the complete opposite as haymakers. Making windrows in our field and building it back up while they're mining their farms and selling all their nutrients. Which, you know, somebody's got to do it. I don't want to do it. So, I'm glad to have haymakers around us. If they want to give up their nutrients and everything, I'll take them. And I'll put them on my fields. Somebody's got to do it. I don't want to go back to making hay. Quit that a long time ago. Ain't got no desire to go back. Too much time and money, and you're not doing any good for your ground. I mean, if you got livestock, there's really no reason for you to make hay. Make your own hay. Get your cows, get your livestock out there, graze it, buy your hay. It's understandable if you don't have water on it, or if it's a rented farm, that's understandable. But if you own it, get some water out there, get some fence up, get your livestock out there. Be a lot better off. And unroll your hay when you feed it. Unroll it. Spread everything out. Build some better pastures for the years to come. It's an eyesore when I drive around and see feeder wagons and bale rings and mud holes and feeding in barns. Putting all your nutrients in one spot, and the majority of the time, if it's out on the land, nothing grows there for several months to a year because there's too much fertility down. Or you're feeding in a barn and putting all your nutrients in a barn, then you got to clean it all out at the end of the year. These cows can make it on the land. You just got to manage them. Move them around. They can build up the land, and they can also tear it down. It's all in the managers who's running them. Yeah, in the wintertime when it gets wet and you're stocked this high, it's not hard to make some mud. You just got to keep them moving. Do your best. Keep them moving and manage your pastures and unroll some bales when you need to. And they don't need all those extra supplements. They can get it all done off grass, and if they can't, sell them. Put them in a freezer. There's no reason these things can't get it done out here. We're mimicking the buffalo. They moved around in a mob together, and they moved. They didn't stay in one spot all year long. They moved. In the wintertime, we're usually moving fence every day, if not every other day. In the growing season, they're getting moved every 2 or 3 days, sometimes every day, all on how much time I got. Whew, that wind's picking up. When you got all your cows in one group, it's a whole lot easier to move them more often, but when you got several groups on different farms, it makes it a little bit more tricky. That. Gonna keep on moving along. Can't wait to see what these fields look like this year, because every year you're grazing, the fields get better every year, get more diversity, especially when you mob graze, get some herd impact on it and give it rest. The diversity gets better every year. You'll see some plants that you haven't seen before, and it's all in the seed bank. You know, there's several seeds in the seed bank. They're just waiting for their time to shine, and livestock feet, hoof impact is a good way to get them to grow. Yep, keep them girlies moving. You'll be glad you did.